Hello, my name is Gareth and welcome to Fat Pigeon Reviews. Now today we're taking a look at the Fyne Audio F500 SP, the special production of the 500s. The main drive unit is a Isoflare 6-inch driver, 150mm driver. The centre is a magnesium compressed dome tweeter set back slightly from within this little, they call it the Fyne flute design, like a horn. They have these little notches, these little cutouts within the rubber where the actual bass extension, where the actual cone and the driver moves, where it flexes. Yeah, where it flexes, it has these little knockouts. So it can disperse the sound directionally out into your room. It has a beautiful polished aluminium bezel around the outside to house the driver. It has a bass track system. Now it's got this small cylindrical little cone at the very bottom, so where the air and the movement of the air comes through, down through the port, because it's a down firing port on this speaker. So it comes down over this cone and disperses the bass 360 degrees. So when you're actually coming to place these speakers in your lounge or wherever, bedroom, kitchen, they're not that fussy with how close they can go to the wall. So you can get these a little bit closer to the corners, a little bit closer to the wall. I found the best results for me. It's not always ideal for people. I mean, I have mine pushed back. I own the F500s themselves, the ones before the SP range, the special production range. I absolutely love them. They're fantastic speakers. And I can get mine about 8 to 10 inches away from the wall without sort of any interference from the bass. It's the same with these. Now, with this mid-range driver, this is actually a trickled down from the F700 series, the higher end series. So all the technology is coming through, trickled down into these new F500 SP speakers. Now, the design of these is very sleek. You can actually get these also in a piano black finish and also, I think, a gloss walnut finish. Now, the gloss walnut finishes are slightly a bit more expensive. I think these actually retail at about £1,500 at the minute, so $1,500 thereabouts. But with the walnut ones, I think they're about $200 or £200 more. I think they're about $1,700. But the walnut finish, I'll put a picture up. The walnut finish is very nice. It's a very clean, but yet it's a modern yet oldie-worldy feel to it and look to it. It's very nice. It's a very nice finish. It has 4 binding posts at the back with the little metal bridges. So you can take the bridges out and they are bi-wireable or bi-ampable. If you get the speaker cable that splits into 4, 2 from your amp splits into 4, you can plug these into the plus and the minus of the high frequency, plus and the minus of the lower frequency. So again, they are bi-ampable and bi-wireable. Now the frequency range on these is 42 Hertz to 34,000 Hertz. So they do get up there. They get quite low with the 40 Hertz. It's about 40 Hertz. Compared to the F500s that I own myself, they get a little bit lower. It's a little bit more of a deeper, it's got a bit more depth to the bass on the SPs. The recommended amplification is between 30 and 120 watts. So as long as your amp's got your 30 watts up to 120 watts, they'll sort of run absolutely fine. I'm running them at the minute. I've just done a few tests on these and I've just done a review on the Arcam SA30. It was just a quick review on the SA30, the Arcam SA30. So I've been listening to these on that. And they do come alive with that amplifier. The sensitivity on these is 90 decibels. So not the easiest speaker to run, but also not the hardest either. They have an impedance of 8 ohms. So again, they're relatively easy to run and to drive. Now it's classed as a point source driver. So because the tweeter is set back within the actual mid-range bass driver itself, it's a very focused area where the music comes out. The point source, it points at you and the source comes out. Point source, I guess, I don't know. I think I've just made that up. But yeah, it's a very focused, very nice sounding speaker coming from just the one drive unit. So there isn't any like incidents where the timing's slightly out because you've got a separate tweeter up here and then you've got your mid-range bass below it. So the timing's never out, it's coming from the same source. Now the sound quality is very nice. Like I say, I do own the F500s, the ones below these. And these are better. They do a little bit more in every sort of instance. The trebles, the highs, the detail is just slightly more. It's just got that extra little bit for you. The mid-range vocals, the guitars, the strings, the violins, the sort of ambiance that it's creating is just that little bit more. It's more of an atmosphere. It's a more open sound. The bass extension does get deeper than the 500s. I think it comes across as faster. The timing's a bit faster. It's pacier. They're punchy. But again, it just gets that little bit lower for me on these ones. They're a bit more of a refined speaker. So I was listening to my favourite track on vinyl the other day. It's Joe Bonamassa, I think it is. I need to read the album. I bought the album the other day on vinyl, triple album, live at the Albert Hall, I think it was. And it is just astonishing through these. The depth that you get, the level of detail that it's producing. It feels like you're live with it. The live drums are so airy and distant. But the separation from these, from the plucks of the guitar and the live drums in the background, you can tell. The center imaging for me, if I had them about 10 to 12 inches away from the wall, just toned in a little bit, I got this very nice center image, and you can tell where people are singing, where people are standing, where people are playing the guitars. The bass was just right for me. Like I say, it gets a little bit lower than the 500s. It was just right. The timing was correct. The airiness was there. The guitar strings, when it's plucking on the guitar strings, absolutely crystal clear. The resonance from the string came through as it should, as I expected, just slightly better than the F500s. I listened to War of the Worlds on this, the second track on War of the Worlds, through Tidal. And there's a scene on that. It is a scene, I guess. There's a lot of music playing and all that. And then the aliens or something, they move back some sort of container lid, or the ship lid, I'm not sure, and it hits the floor. And you get like a kick and a punch and like a wave of this. Oh, I've not sort of heard that before. It gives you this instance of you're there. And it makes the story of the War of the Worlds a little bit more engaging and a little bit more satisfying, if that makes sense. Now with the higher frequencies, the higher notes, it gets that little sparkle that I like. I like a crisp, clean sparkle. Not bright, not too high. I don't want it to get ear fatigue. I don't want to think, oh, that's too much. Some speakers do that to my ears. And I think for everybody as well. They're a little bit too bright, but these are not. These have the real nice detail and the real high highs, but at a nicer level and a refined, smoothed off around the edges. A review a week or so ago on, I think it was about a week ago now, on the F501 SPs. Now they're a bigger cabinet. They're a lot more money. They produce this big, wonderful sound. Now they're very similar to those without the extra bass. The extra bass on the F501 SPs was just delightful. I'd not heard that before. It was shaking. I mean, check out the review. I've got it on my channel somewhere, the F501 SPs. But these are very, very similar. They've got the same driver unit. They just haven't got the bass driver as well. So they still get low, obviously not as low as those ones, but the detail is the same. But they just to seem a bit bigger on those because obviously, again, the bigger cabinet. But these are doing a fantastic job still of getting the sound out to you, the reproduction of the sound. I use a test track called These Bones with some a cappella singers, and the throatiness and the deep voice comes through absolutely spot on with these. Again, because it's got that extra little bit of bass, the lower end. Now again, these are £1,500. I think they're about £1,700 for, like I said, that walnut, that real nice walnut finish. Now for me, the Fyne Audio F500s are £850. So these are about £650 more than the F500s. Now if you've got £1,500, £1,700 for the walnut, if you've got that sort of money, these are better than the F500s. And they do a lot of things that the other ones don't, but they do the exact same thing. They produce this music, but just better, just in a better way. The vocal clarity is slightly more on these. They're a little bit purer. Like I say, the detail is just a little bit sparklier and they get a little bit lower. And the soundstage seems a bit more airy on these than the F500s. Now the F500s aren't recessed in any way. They're like an upfront speaker, the same as these are. But again, these just have the edge. They just have that extra bit that you're striving for with everything. You always want that little bit more, and these do produce that little bit more. The F501 SPs, like I say, were fantastic, phenomenal speakers, but they're £3,500. And they're same exact signature as these. These are, like I say, the same technology, same drivers, same materials. Trickled down from the F700 range, which I think are about £3,500 for a bookshelf speaker. I've not heard them personally, but I'd assume them to be a big step up from these again. But if you are in the line for some £1,500 speakers, these will get you there. These are absolutely fantastic. I do like them, but I like the sound signature from the Fyne Audio speakers. But I've also done a test on the, what are they called? The Golden Ear. Sorry, the Golden Ear BRX bookshelf speakers. And they're a very similar price to these. And for me, the BRXs are better than these. With that ribbon tweeter, the highs and the clarity and the cleanness and the crispness that those BRXs can, they are again a step up from these, but at the very similar price. They may even be cheaper than these now, I'm not sure, I haven't checked. But for as a bookshelf goes and you're spending £1,500, my opinion would be go and check them out. Go and have a listen to these speakers. Also go and have a listen to the BRXs, the Golden Ear BRXs, because with that ribbon tweeter, I was just blown away by it. What an astonishing speaker. Again, these are not bad. These are a good speaker. They've got different sound signatures. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a sound test on. There's a separate video with the same 11 tracks that I normally use, so you can get a gauge and see, see if you actually like the sound signature. At least you can hear something, even if it's just through your TV, your phone. I mean, it's not going to do any justice going through your phone with a sound test. But if you put headphones on, if you've got some, desktop PC speakers set up, you can tell a difference between the speakers that I am actually putting on the videos. Again, just a big thank you to Audio Lounge Leicester. They have lent me these for the week to give them a try, have a listen. And I've just done another video with the Arcam SA30 amplifier. Just a quick look at the Arcam that was, just a quick vid. As an all-round summary, these are a very detailed, fine speaker. Fine speaker. They've done a fine job, as I've said, I think. Fyne Audio have done a fine job of making these speakers. But again, for this price point, they've got some competition. I do think they've got some competition. But again, it all depends on what you like. Audio Lounge Leicester, they do sound demos. So they'll come to your house with the pair of these, with the pair of the BRXs, with a pair of the F500s. They'll bring them all and see what works in your house. So either way, you're going to get a speaker that you like. I love the design of these. They're rugged, they're heavy. I think they're about 8.2, 8.3 kilos heavy, with the aluminium base and the big aluminium feet on the bottom. It's a well-built, sturdy design. And that's obviously where your money's going. Along with the sound quality, they're just a nice, easy listening, easy to position speaker. And they do the job, they get you there, they put the smile on your face. That's all it's all about. All I strive for is, can that speaker, can that amp, can that turntable, can the sound that these are reproducing put a smile on my face? And if they can, they get a thumbs up from me. What I'm also going to do, I've just bought some little bookshelf speakers at a fantastic value on Amazon. I'm going to put them on the channel. I'm going to do a sound test with them so you can hear them yourself. So it's not all about the higher end, £3,500, this £2,000 amplifiers. I am going to do a range of the cheaper stuff as well, so everyone can enjoy the channel, hopefully. Right, I'm going to wrap it up. I keep rambling. This video is about an hour and a half long. I have to reduce it down to about 15 minutes. Hopefully you like the video. If you do like the video, click like on your phone. Just do it now. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe or to like my content. I don't think. So, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.